Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you why it's actually easier to sell a $5,000 product than a $500 product. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as I release videos like this every single week. All right, so let's say you sell a coaching program, an online course, a mastermind, a virtual event, whatever it is, right? And you know, I know so many people who sell $200 coaching programs, $200 or $500 courses, and they wonder why they're not growing their business. They wonder why they're not scaling. They're wondering why they're not making more money, and they keep thinking, well, I need more people to buy my $200 or $500 or even $1,000 offer, and that's what I need to do, when in reality, you really need to increase your prices, and I'm going to tell you why. If you, let's just take a few industries for example, right? Like, let's say you teach people how to grow their business or make money. Do you really think it is believable that you can make somebody a millionaire or a bunch of money or whatever for $200? Like, think about that. If somebody wants to grow their business, is it truly believable that they're going to be able to get that result for $200? Not so much. As well, let's say it's weight loss, right? Is it really believable that if you charge $200 for your program, that you're going to be able to get the result? And that's the thing, is when you're the cheapest, people have a hard time believing you're the best. And the other thing is, people that are willing to pay the most money are also the people that are the easiest to sell. Let me track back for a second and let me say that again. The people that are willing to pay the most are also the easiest to sell. The people who are looking for a deal are the hardest to sell. And I know this, and let me tell you a little story. When I got started, I bought into this whole thing where, let me sell a 12-week one-on-one coaching program for $2,000. Or, let me sell a course for $200 or $500. And I found that when we were marketing to these people and when we were trying to get them to buy, they had about 10,000 questions. They had all these concerns. They had all these objections, and I worked so hard. I made so many videos, and I just did so much to try to convince them to spend $200 or $500 or even $1,000. We made about $8 million with a $997 offer. And the amount of support tickets, the amount of questions, the refunds, the objections, we would do a webinar and, well, will this work for me? Just all this crazy stuff. Imagine, I'm a person that I've been featured in Forbes. I've spoken on stages in front of 6,000 people at the most, prestigious marketing events in the industry. I've won multiple 𝐃𝐚𝐧 and an 8-figure award. I was voted the top internet entrepreneur in the Tampa Bay area, in my local area. Just all these awards and accolades and things that I've accomplished, and making $1 million in a day, which I did in 2020. All this stuff, right? And yet, I'll get questions like, Dan, do you really think this will work for me? And again, that is the type of questions you get when you sell something cheap, because people who look or even consider things that are cheap are the type of people that will sit there and say, well, are you sure you can make money with this? No, I've got an $18,000 watch because I'm not sure that you can make money with it. Come on. But, for instance, I mentioned the $1 million day. That was a $30,000 offer. I sold 34 spots into my $30,000 mastermind. Those people, when it came time to buy, and we said buy, 90% of them was like, here you go. Where's the wire instructions? I'm in. No questions. Maybe 10% had a couple of questions, but not really. They were like very simple questions, and they weren't objections or concerns. They were just logistical questions. But whenever I've sold a $47 product for $5, guys, think about this. Brandon, could you grab me a copy of my book? I'll give you a perfect example, right? Perfect example. Thank you, sir. This right here is my book. Now, we sell this for $7. It's actually free, but you know, it's $7 for shipping. So it's free and then you pay shipping, right? $7. I literally have had people comment on my Facebook ads and say, well, why is it so much for shipping? Guys, I built an 8-figure business, packed all that knowledge into this book. There's even a blueprint in here for my first 30 days, how I made 100 grand. It's a step-by-step walkthrough of everything I did on every single day, right down to when I had lunch. And there are actual people, human beings in this world, who take the time to comment and say, well, isn't $7 a little much for shipping? Or isn't $20 a little much for international shipping? Guys, those are the type of people that no matter what, they're always going to be hard to sell to, no matter what the price point, because the way they think is just on another level that, you know, even if they did buy your program, working with those type of people is going to be very difficult because you have to drag them in and drag them around, right? And the thing is that when somebody really wants to invest in themselves, when somebody really wants to improve their life and they are willing to pay a premium to make it happen, they are willing to make it happen, they are easier to sell. Because just by the what happens mentally and what happens in your mind that allows you to be okay with investing in yourself is the same thing that happens in your mind that makes you easy to close. So the people that are more willing to do what is necessary to help themselves are the people that are easier to sell to. So when we stopped selling $1,000 offers and we started selling a higher premium program, a higher price program, but at the same time, a much better program, a program where we had, I mean, right now, we got like 4 coaching calls a week, right? We literally have like such a great program, and that's because it's not $1,000 or $500. It's more than that, and it also delivers 100 times the results. And so when people like that get on a call with us or they attend my events or whatever, and they're like, I'm in, I'm ready to go, I want to invest in myself, they're easier to sell to than people who complain and moan over $7 for shipping for a book that literally has secrets in it that help me build an 8-figure business, okay? And look, if you're the type of person that is going to argue over the shipping cost of this book, I don't want you as a client anyway. You're just going to give me a headache, okay? And the people that you work with, if they do that to you, they will give you a headache. And by having an offer that is a higher price, not only are those people easier to close, but they are also easier to work with and get the results. Back years ago, I used to have people say, Dan, why? I'm a little skeptical because you're not charging enough. And I realized that it was my own limiting beliefs stopping me from charging what I was worth. And you might say, well, Dan, you sell how to make money. What about like marriage count, like an offer on marriage or weight loss? Okay, well, think about this. How much does a divorce cost you? Right? Well, because that's the thing. People say, well, Dan, if you're able to make somebody a millionaire, or you're able to make somebody $1,000 or $100,000, of course they'd pay 10 grand, right? Or of course they'd pay 5, or of course they'd pay 30, because you're making them money. Well, yeah, but think about this. Let's say you're on the rocks with your marriage, and let's say somebody says, well, we have this marriage counseling program, or we have this marriage coaching, and it's $5,000 or it's $10,000, whatever. Oh, that's expensive for that. Well, no, it's not, because think about it. What would it cost you if you got a divorce? Only half of everything you've ever worked for. Think about that. Is it worth it to pay 5 or 10 grand or even more to save yourself from losing half of what you've accumulated in your entire life? All right, let's go to weight loss. Let's say somebody has a severe weight loss problem, and there's a weight loss coach who's really good, and they're really good at getting people the result, and they charge $5,000. Oh, $5,000, that's so much to pay for weight loss. Yeah, but what would you pay in doctor visits, in lost opportunities, I remember I met a guy once who was extremely overweight, and he didn't used to be overweight. And he told me how terrible his life was because he was that overweight. His romantic relationships were pretty much non-existent. His doctor visits were expensive. His insurance was expensive. He ended up getting diseases as a result. I believe he became diabetic, and that, I mean, the price of insulin, the price of just all of that is so much. And I remember saying to him, I said, hey, let me ask you a question. Let's say there was somebody who was really good at, and by the way, this man eventually did lose the weight because he invested in a program that allowed him to lose weight. But prior to that, I said, and maybe this was part of the reason that he ended up doing it, I don't know. But I asked him, I said, if there was somebody that you knew was very good at getting you to lose weight and could work at you, because you've tried it yourself, it hasn't worked. If there was somebody that was good at it, but let's say they charged a premium price because they were so good, right? $5,000, say, would you pay it? And he said, absolutely. Absolutely I would, because I pay way more than that all the time as a result of not losing the weight. Think about that. Just think about that. So the next time you say to yourself, well, Dan, I can't charge that much. I can't charge. Well, you would only not want to charge a premium price if you wanted bad clients and you wanted to have a lot of trouble selling to people and you didn't want to get people results. Because if you charge a premium, you will get better clients, they will be easier to close, and they will do the work, and they will appreciate you more. People that buy $200 coaching programs and courses are like the same people that show up at the grocery line and spend an hour looking for a coupon in their Sunday paper and arguing with the cashier. I mean, that's like the equivalent. But people who have things to do don't care about that because they care about the big picture. They don't care about getting an extra 20 cents off of that steak. They care about the memories they will create when they take that steak and go to that family barbecue and spend it with their kids and spend it with their cousins and their family and their aunts and uncles and create memories. That's what those people care about because their mind is at a higher level than the person who's worrying about saving 20 cents per pound. And that's why you want the people with a higher level mindset. You want the people that appreciate what you do. You want the people that are ready to invest, and you want the people that are easier to sell to. And those people, that all comes with selling at a higher price. When we switched, and I've done several videos on this, but when we switched from low ticket to high ticket, the amount of staff I needed went down, our expenses went down, our profit went up, and our student results went through the roof. I went from having people simply quit their job and maybe hit six figures to making multiple millionaires. I had a lady, her name's Shayna, and I'm gonna do a student interview with her soon. She joined my $30,000 program, okay? 30 grand, 30 G's. And she's a coach, she's a health coach. She teaches women how to balance their hormones and lose weight. And she just could not wrap her mind, for the longest time, could not wrap her mind around charging this instead of this. She could not wrap her mind around that. She could not wrap her mind around charging more than less. Oh, I don't think they're willing to pay. Oh, I'm not, blah, blah, blah. And eventually she said, you know what, Dan? I've been doing this long enough. My business is going nowhere. I'm in. And by her finally investing that high ticket price to solve her problem, she now gave herself the permission to charge more. Because let me tell you, if you are not willing to pay a lot, you will not be able to charge a lot. By me charging my clients a premium price, I give them the ability to charge their clients a premium price. Because you cannot mentally ask for more money if you are not willing to pay more money to solve your problem. You can't say, hey, I want you to pay me a premium to solve your problem. I have a solution to your problem. I want you to pay me a premium. But you're not willing to pay this person over here a premium to solve your problem. It doesn't work like that. There's too much internal mental conflict. So when Shayna finally took the plunge, got into my program, high ticket, it's only been, I think, Brandon, how long it was since we did that event? 3 weeks? Yeah. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Yesterday, she had her first $19,000 day. And it's simply because I taught her and worked with her on raising her prices, creating a high ticket offer, selling it over the phone. $19,000 day. That's what some teachers make in a year. Not that that's okay, but do you see what I'm saying? So it is easy. And keep in mind, I have 5,000 students that bought a $997 program over the years. And we raised it to 2 at some point, but even 2,000. A lot of them are doing well. Yeah, I've got a few of them that are making 6 figures a month, sure. A few that made millions. A lot of them that quit their jobs. But when I created a higher ticket program, people having $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 days, that's a weekly thing now. I hear a new story about that all the time, where it was rare before. Why? Because I'm getting better people that are willing to invest in themselves, willing to do the work, and easier to work with. And so I get better results because I charge more. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why it is easier to charge more than less. It is easier to sell at a higher price than less because the type of people willing to pay a higher price are far easier to sell than the type of people looking for a lower price. All right? So if this was helpful, don't worry, you don't have to pay me $30,000. You can grab my book for $7 and you can get started and you can learn. I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to speak to our team about what kind of options we have to help you grow, obviously we're not cheap, but I always say I don't have anything cheap because I don't have anything that sucks. And it's far worth it if you are ready to level up. I'll leave a link where you can book a call, talk to my team, and see if we have anything that we can do to help you and what that would look like. But if you haven't yet, at least grab a copy of the book. Leave the link in the description. See you guys in the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe because if you like videos like this, I release them all the time. So make sure to subscribe. See you guys soon.